Boy, I got really quiet.
I bet you can't, pervert.
We're live.
Hydrate.
Welcome to the Iron Palace Podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Iron Palace Podcast, the world's most anabolic podcast that stimulates more growth than a double scoop of creatine and a breakup combined. Shut up, Dave.
Talk about me, dude. Jesus.
That's a lot of growth.
Honestly, I didn't even think about it until I said it. I was like,
You're like, oh, man.
I didn't even pre-read it. I just
You always pre-read, man.
Yeah,
no. Yeah, I probably should start that.
Yeah.
For more than just Dave, so that I don't stutter over it.
How's the audio book stuff going? Yeah?
I don't know. I haven't finished applying yet.
I was
that
like,
was part
really?
of his application. He was silent.
You going to be on Audible?
Maybe one day.
What
Y'all
is
be,
the
y'all be
equivalent?
laughing whenever my audiobook money pays for this instead of my current job.
What's the equivalent of Audible for deaf people? Is there like silent YouTube videos?
Is it like Braillio?
just throwing up gang signs for books?
Isn't that a rapper?
Yeah.
Could be.
Rest his soul.
Braillio.
That sounds kind of like Audible.
Yeah. I was like, Brailleable?
Excuse me.
Somebody at work did ask my deaf friend if he had a one of them poles to get around. I said, "Dude, he's deaf, not blind. Do you think he's got like, do you think he's got a smelling?"
Was that a
eye dog,
serious
dude?"
He
question?
needed a cane.
You got a hear and ear stick?
Yeah.
Like,
We work with some real winners, boys. He's gonna be in leadership someday.
dude, I would just start carrying around a stick just to beat people with like that. Like, yeah, I sure do. You want to see it? We got to put it together. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you just get to whooping like that. Dave, this has long since stopped bothering me.
I'm just gonna let that one breathe, dog. I'm just gonna see where it tapered off to.
Nowhere, like usual.
Into nothing.
Right off the plank.
I'll do it, Holland.
Close.
Getting better.
Yeah, getting there.
The whole time you were gone, Holland's been trying to learn how to do that sound.
I don't know. I can only do it sometimes.
What sound are we attempting? Oh, I can't do that.
Whatever. I give up. It's not in the cards for me today, boys.
What's tripping me out right now
Open
is
up. Open up.
What's tripping you out? That.
now. I already forgot what I was going to say. Any Hoosier, what's her? I guess we cover what we did last weekend.
Yeah.
Not you, Dave, because I'm too afraid to ask you what you
I
did.
saw a lot of trucks with flags at half mast, and I don't know why. I think Jelly Roll must have had heartburn or something. There's a lot of upset rednecks.
So anyways, Holland, what did you do last weekend?
So I was in the. It's hard to say great, but it's a state,
Yeah.
Wisconsin.
I was about to say, if you called it great, you were the only one that calls it great.
I mean, yeah, it was okay. I mean,
It's a consolation state, if you will.
it's better than being in France, I guess. But
It's there by default because everything around it's a state. So, I mean, it's just like, why not?
yeah, but
It's on our side of the lake. We're not going to let Canada have it.
right.
It's a good point. We barely want to let Canada have Canada. So,
Yeah.
Treading on thin ice. Literally. Ask Al Gore.
it's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I was up in Wisconsin at the high school nationals, coaching our boy Kyle.
With our only sponsored athlete.
Yeah, who took home silver.
Not too shabby. Yeah. Even if he does deadlift sumo, not too shabby.
Yeah, no, he did well. He had a new bench PR. or a competition PR on bench.
Yeah, because his normal bench PR is like 325 or something, but he did it with his.
Hey, gym PRs don't have to be perfect technique.
Okay, I will agree with you.
Or any technique.
That's what I was going to say. I will agree on perfect technique, but they need to be somewhat of a bench press.
It's technically still kind of a bench press.
He did more of a like inverted row.
Yeah.
Andy's got those bands on it.
Yeah.
Can't bend his arms.
He's got the elbow
Everybody's got their own
sleeves,
stuff.
his wrist wraps, his feet might as well be on the pad.
Hey, he's got to be dripped out.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
You know.
The haters are sick.
Yeah.
Why'd that sound like a question?
But no, yeah, he did early in. Well, really, after squats, we're like, dude, he's got.
What did he hit on squats?
He hit 455, and he missed his opener. He was high.
Nerves got to him.
Oh man,
And,
good thing I didn't test.
Yeah, but the second one he nailed it, and then the third one he did his little shrug thing,
Yep.
and they red lighted him for it.
We told him.
Yeah,
Everybody told him.
and I went. Billy Keel was one of the jurymen or whatever. And I went over there, and he was like, "Listen, all three refs red lighted it." He said, "We can only overturn a 2-1."
Yep.
And I was like, "Well, at least I walked out here. It looks like
Yeah.
I tried."
And you walk back over there. Listen, dude, I fought for you. All right,
I was
but
like, I did all I could.
we just couldn't make it happen.
did all I could do.
I even tried to slip him a $5. Didn't work.
But it turns out he didn't need it. Didn't need the third squat, and all he had to do was hit his opening deadlift, and he had second locked in by like 40 kilos or something.
Dang.
Yeah. It was weird the way like most of the guys, the high school guys were deadlifting. Like their squats and deadlifts were really similar. The high school girls, it seemed like their squats were way better than their deadlifts. Like
That checks out.
That's problematic.
it was weird. Like it was.
I mean, we talked about that when we talked about like average strength.
Yeah, but I was. It's funny though because we were watching. I don't know whatever weight class it was before Kyle lifted. And
There's a smaller weight class than Kyle.
well, it was the females.
Oh, okay,
But
that
yeah.
makes more sense.
But there is a smaller weight class than Kyle.
It's just women.
Just we people. But this girl, she squatted like I don't know 3. It was over 300 pounds. You know, it was pretty close to 3 times her body weight that she squatted.
Dang.
And then I was like, man, I cannot wait to see what her deadlift is. And then she pulled like 225.
It's whack.
I was like, what the heck?
I never understood that because I know a lot of people that have a heavy deadlift don't always have a heavy squat. But generally, people I've seen with a heavy squat have at least a somewhat comparable deadlift.
Yeah, it tends to carry over.
Yep.
You know? But yeah. But no, Kyle did well, and we were trying to figure out if the guy in first, if he'd missed his opener on deadlift, or like if he misses that and has to redo it. Let's say that ends up being his highest deadlift. We're like, what does Kyle need to deadlift to win? It's going to be like 625 or something. We're like, never mind, Kyle.
Especially whenever the last time he'd hit 550?
Yeah.
Or was that just what he attempted at the last meet?
I think that's what he attempted.
And that if he did get it, that was going to be a struggle for him.
Yeah, he pulled 565 at the thing, but they didn't give it to him. They said he hitched.
I remember him asking us at the last meet whenever he had went for, I think he'd hit like 540 or something. He'd asked if he hitched.
Yeah,
I was like, I think me and you both were like, I don't think.
yeah.
But
That was it was. That's kind of open for interpretation.
yeah.
but no, yeah. So
I spaced out, and then I heard him drinking his drink. And he brought me back in. I heard,
Sounded refreshing, didn't it?
yeah. At first, I thought somebody was peeing into a cup. And then I looked over and saw he had a can to his mouth. I was like, that's not what's happening.
Thank God.
I could try that next. I mean,
We don't have to. It's
Hey.
fine. I mean, the last episode you took your shirt off.
If you don't shoot a 3-point shot, you
That
ain't
was
got no
for
hair
the
on your peaches,
podcast.
dog.
Well, yeah. I was just stating a fact. I wasn't complaining.
nobody here had on a podcast shirt, so
I got mine today. I even wore mine to work today.
Wow. Representing.
Yeah, dog.
So, what'd you do over the weekend?
We had our first live commentation this week. That was pretty fun.
Yes, we had our first.
I'm trying to be inclusive, guys.
we was there in spirit.
Yeah.
You really have gone
I will say that that was one of the times I really got ahead of myself, and I was getting real gung ho on pushing us out into new crowds and new people to get us in front of and get our grow our audience, if you will.
Yeah.
And that was one of the times I got really excited and agreed to do something before asking anybody else on the podcast. And it was just hey, Willie, can we do it? And he goes, yeah, you can do it. Sick. All right, guys, we're doing it. And everyone, I'm busy that day. Like, okay. And Holland's like, oh, yeah, I'll be in Wisconsin. Dave's like, I'll be on vacation. Alan's, you said you couldn't go for something. And then Michael's like, I'll be at work. I was like, I should really run this stuff by you guys before I.
Yeah.
So
It worked out, though, right?
either way, it was a great time.
I'm sure you did a great job. What?
I don't believe that was sincere at all.
I don't know. It felt sincere from
I
here.
thought it was. I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. Either way. So the team a strongman was actually pretty cool. I've not seen a team strongman competition, so that was neat. The first event was a Denny hold and carry, so there was 5 teams of 5. I thought you were going to do it.
Do what, dude? I'm trying to stay hydrated.
Anyways, so it was they had one person was doing a static hold of a Denny lift with a weight that's based off of their body weight, while one person walked it as far as they could, and they would stop when the other person when the holder dropped their weights. So 2 rounds of that, and then the last person would carry it as far as they could, and then your total distance was your score. Well, then there was a master athlete carried 250. I think it was 250 in each hand, carried it 100 feet.
Dang.
The second place person to that team, whenever that after the end of the event, had gone 160 feet total, and he went 100 feet by himself. So I think they wound up with like 190 something feet.
Wow.
I was like, Lord,
Yeah.
that was crazy. And then they did the Hackenschmidt floor press, which, I mean, I get it. It's a lift. I find it rather boring to watch and do,
Yeah.
but I know that it's some people we know's favorite lift. Clint. Then they also had a push-pull going on where there was a guy that first attempt open bench press 500
Above
pounds.
ground or below ground? I guess that'd be above ground. It's kind of hard to push a in-ground pull.
What?
I'm just trying to picture the events, dog.
Anyways, his first attempt bench press was 500 pounds.
Yeah, that sand filter.
Yeah. Anyways,
Sand is heavy.
So 500 pounds.
so open 500 pounds. The best part, though, was I was commentating the strongman when Willie. Now, first off, he started this whole event out. Whenever I asked him, okay, so push pull's over there, strongman's here. He said, yeah, but don't worry about the push pull. It's going to go quick and be kind of boring. I said, okay. So I just hung out the strongman. Then as soon as they finished the first 2 flights of bench press, then that guy comes up. He runs over. FYI, don't know if you want to say anything. This guy's about to open bench press 500. I was like, yeah, I just want to come watch that. I don't care if I've got anything to say or not. Yeah. So I walked over there, and then he, like, real quick, speed repped 500. And I went, dang, dude, I missed it. And he goes, that guy goes, all right, first attempt. I went, what did he just say? And his last warm-up was 500. He opened at 525. and then smoked it. It was stupid. And then he went to 545, smoked it just the same, and then was like, all right, I'm done. Like, cool.
Must be nice.
Yeah, no kidding. And then we're doing the silver dollar deadlift on the team deadlift or on the team strongman. So I go back over there, which is more bogus stuff, by the way. Is like the women crushing it. I don't think a single woman didn't pull at least 3 times their body weight on silver dollar deadlift, which was already crazy.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching the men warm up, and they're going through then they're getting up to like 800 pounds. And now almost everybody's out by 800 pounds, which is a pretty respectable weight. Yeah. And then there's a guy going, last warm up 877. I was like, did he just say last warm up? Because everybody else is on their at least second to third attempt by now. There's only one guy who I think that it was on his second or that was his first. I don't remember.
And this guy was stone cold sober, right?
The opposite. That dude was drunk, bro. Like if I honestly knew his name, I'd tell you, but I really don't. Like everything was a blur. And like Willie at one point even said, "What's that dude's name?" I was like, I ain't got a clue, bro, but he's about to be my idol, I think. Yeah. So yeah, he's up there. Pulls 877 like it was 135, and then bumps up again to 1,030 something like it was butter again. I was like, this is a joke. Like there was another guy that was doing his third attempt at 1,030, and he did it, but I mean it looked like he was pulling 1,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So then that guy goes, all right, let's go 1,100. I was like, just casually 1,100 pounds. And he missed it, but I mean, it was barely like it was moving, but then he just kind of petered out, if you will. So it was pretty gnarly competition. Made me upset that I wasn't competing and I was just watching.
Any deadlift, any lift over 1,000 pounds. I don't care if it's silver dollar, 18-inch deadlift.
With the exchange rate, that'd be $1,400. 1,100.
1,100 pounds.
Yeah, silver dollar. I was just trying to make it make sense for me. Dude.
Does it make sense for you now?
It does.
Okay, then.
It's even more in American money.
Hey, that's like this guy was talking about riders on contracts, like for
Aussie's green M&Ms.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. And dude was asking this theater or whatever that Snoop had been there, and he was like, "Hey, did Snoop have any kind of weird request?" He's like, "Yeah, 200 pounds of chicken."
Yeah.
It's about like me and you right now.
So yeah. And this guy was like, "Holy crap, Snoop really eats a lot of chicken," until he realized it was the value.
Yeah.
It was $200 worth of chicken, not 200 pounds of chicken.
It was 3 chicken thighs from Gordon Ramsay's restaurant.
They were in England. Yeah. he was like, oh, that makes way more sense.
200 pounds of chicken exchange rate is what you take to someone's house after they have a loved one passed away if you're Baptist.
True
I
story.
know exactly how much chicken that is.
I do too. That's a true statement.
That's a lot of chicken. Of
How
course,
much do you think?
we've probably eaten close to 200 pounds of chicken since we.
I was actually sitting here thinking, I want to do that math.
Yeah.
Just how much at this point? Because we got 7 weeks left, 7.5 ish.
You guys get done, we go do a mukbang.
Sure.
Pretty sure that's how you pronounce it.
Dude, like I caught myself earlier thinking, if I were to quit right now, what would I have for dinner tonight? That's honest to God my thought. Like I'm sitting at my desk at work going, probably a pizza. I'd probably order a large pizza.
You just have a pizza?
No. What are you talking about?
Didn't he post a picture?
You post the picture of it.
That was a meme.
Pizza.
It was a meme saying this could be us, and that's why I said this could be us, but we're on a diet.
I was thinking that was
I
him
thought
and
it was
Keela.
actually you and Keela's dinner.
Yeah,
I
over
wish.
a pizza.
I
there.
wish to God that was legit. Like the amount of money I would pay to eat a pizza right now.
Just give in and eat a pizza, man.
No, that's what I told Dave today. And I told you right before we started.
Yeah.
Is if this were just like a regular bodybuilding prep, if I were just prepping to do a show, I'd quit because this is nowhere near my dream. Like this is the opposite of my dream, actually. And I hate everything about it. And the only reason that I'm still going is because I just don't want to lose to Holland
Again.
because of quitting. Losing to Holland has become normal. That's not abnormal. However, losing to Holland because I just flat out gave up, that's different. Normally I lose to Holland because I tried my dangest, and his workout once a week whoops my ass again.
Hey, but that workout once a week is my dangest.
I'm not hating on it. The only little bit of hating on I'm doing is that I'm jealous that I can't also do that.
But I've had to move up to like 3 days a week now. Cardio 4 days.
Only 4? Dude, I've got 6 days of cardio for 45 minutes. Do you know how mad I am? You know what my food was today?
Mine's
100 grams of rice.
What's that in U.S. dollars?
It is a non-workout day, so therefore I get 5 ounces of chicken with 100 grams of rice twice. And then after that, I get 5 ounces of steak with another 100 grams of rice or potatoes. But don't worry, though. 100 grams of berries tonight.
Yeah.
And 2 eggs. And you guessed it, more steak.
Yeah.
So I'm living my best life.
Yeah.
This is the closest I've been to depression without having other circumstances happen. Somebody made a joke today. They were like, "Caleb, you're a strong man." I was like, "Don't talk to me." Literally my response was, "Just don't talk to me."
I was
watching these people deadlift this weekend going, I probably couldn't pull half that today. So anyways, how's it going for you, Holland, other than getting compliments from the coach all the time?
He still has joy in his life.
Teacher's
I
pet.
do still have joy in my life.
That must be nice.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. Dave, I didn't tell you this. So our coach, after opposing practice,
This has been my favorite part of having the same coach.
got in his car, started to leave, stopped, backed up, got out, and walked out. And he was like, "Hey, I don't know if I mentioned it. I mentioned it before, but I'm going to say it again." He was like, "You're good at this," pointing at me.
Obviously not me.
He was like, "You're good at this. You really need to think about doing a competition in October." And I was like, I don't know. He was like, "I'm telling you, you should do it." Blah blah blah. And then he got in his car and left. I was like, "Did you hear that, Caleb?"
Yeah, didn't say bye to me or nothing. He just like, and we were that close to getting out of there where I had half a compliment and Holland didn't. I mean, we were just like, because we were inside and he goes, "All right, so let's break it down how it is. Holland, you're not going to be as lean as he is." Where was I going with that? And then he forgot the rest of what he was going to say, and I was like, I'm taking that as my win today.
Yeah.
And then we make it outside, and he just stops his car to come back. I was like, I really think y'all are doing this on purpose.
Holland sent him a text real quick.
Has to. So I mean, this is like, me and Holland were mid-conversation. I don't even know what we were talking about, because after that, I just went and left. So, yeah, it's going great.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk about it because I realized after editing last week, we talked about it a lot.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a big part of what we're doing, though.
Yeah, but that makes me depressed, so.
I'm still feeling pretty good about it.
I'm not. I'm feeling terrible.
Caleb's no longer a big part.
Hey. Oh, man.
Hey, are you looking at him or me right now?
You?
Can you look at him real quick?
Yeah.
Caleb did this to me.
No, I didn't, Mom.
He used the bad finger, Linda.
He did that.
He did that. All right, so 2 things that are interesting to talk about because I had to think of something. Please don't break that.
I found a new piece that moves on this.
Yeah,
Did you know this piece pivots?
yeah, it's the counterbalance. It comes off too.
Oh.
That's why I'm saying don't break that.
Well, if it comes off, is it really broken? This piece. It's got a drop top, dude.
Have I got that?
Yes, you do.
Hey. Okay, sorry. What's interesting?
So one, we haven't talked about UFC in a while because there's not really been anything going on in fight news, with the exception of.
Sorry, I had to adjust.
I thought that was a drum roll.
I did too. I was like, anyways, Patty Pimblett beat Chandler this weekend.
Beat him down. That was
That was
Pretty brutal.
that was crazy. third round. Was it TKO? Yeah.
Patty the Batty was.
Whenever they matched them up, I was like, dude, Chandler's walking away with this one.
Yeah.
Like, that's a no competition to me.
Everybody picked Chandler.
Yeah. I mean, I like Patty. He's just, I didn't think he was as experienced to take on someone like Chandler. I was dead wrong because he looked like a stud that day.
Yeah.
So that was crazy.
Yeah, and really, how serious can you take a fighter whose name is Patty Pimblett? I mean, you know,
And he's hard to take serious because of the way he trains.
He's immediately out of shape, like after the fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His press conference after every fight, he's like already stuffing his face. Like he's doing a mukbang mid-interview.
Mukbang.
Oh, a mukbang. But
yeah,
and then he's like, you know, chunky throughout the whole offseason, which, you know, good for him, I guess.
Retweet.
but and then you're like, man, this guy's not a fighter until he gets in the ring, and then you're like,
Well, even if you just before he joined UFC, he looked pretty good. Then his UFC debut almost lost, and then has done okay, but not really done anything spectacular until now. Just off the top rope, taking out Chandler.
He said that he realized that he had to train now more than just rely on his talents,
and that worked.
Yeah.
That worked
He
really well
realized
for him.
coming to the UFC that it was going to be more than just his talents. He had to really work. It showed.
Yeah, because, man, he did work.
you know, that makes me think of like John Jones. Well, what kind of fighter would he have been like if he had actually really been serious about his training and
if they would have chilled out about him doing cocaine.
well, I mean, really, like if he because he was out partying every night, and then he was coming in, and then he was just starching people.
That's true.
Like Max Verstappen in F1. Like, he's not out partying every night, but like you'll see him on iRacing on a sim racing like 3 a.m. and just whooping people. And then a few hours later, he'll be on the starting grid for an F1 Grand Prix, and then he'll whoop them again.
I'm practicing for this all night.
Just be in a small office, cussing people in Dutch, playing his computer. And the next day, wins one of the biggest races.
I bet the curse words in Dutch sound polite.
No, they don't.
I just don't know. I've never heard Dutch and be like, man, that's a very like aggressive language.
Yeah,
It's not like German. I'm pretty sure German's always aggressive and rude.
everything in German sounds aggressive.
Same with Russian.
Have you seen that YouTube video where different people there's and they're speaking English, French, Spanish, and German, maybe Italian, and they just pick a word like ambulance, you know, and it's like ambulance, and then they're like, and then you know it's like, and then it gets to the German, it's like Krockenwachen.
Like Theo's bit where he said everything sounds sexy in Spanish. Like Mantequilla. It's Spanish for butter. Mantequilla, huh? How old is she?
Or like butterfly. Butterfly is like, it's like, you know, butterfly, and then papillon and is in Spanish, and then it's like a 4-syllable word in German where they're just screaming.
I get a lot of the guy that's how do you say this in Japanese? And it just doesn't make any sense. Like green light. I think green is a different word than when you say green light. When you say green light in Japanese, you're actually saying blue light.
The hardest part about speaking Japanese is making your lips not match the words.
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that said how to speak Japanese, he said, memorize, don't ask why.
Yeah, because that would be so frustrating, trying to figure out why you say blue light for green light and not green.
Someone commented and said that they invented the language before the word green was made.
Well, you'd think the color green would be around, though, that they would want a color name for that color.
Beats me.
But you know, it's what was it? Was it the color blue? That I read a thing that like
Thought he's peeing again.
I read a thing that was saying that we originally could not see the color blue. Like that was an evolutionary trait that happened eventually, that we could blue in particular.
I think I heard it because there's no like most colors have like a poison or something other associated with it, but blue doesn't. So like it's purely an aesthetic. If I'm not mistaken, I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, they it was like, and I mean it was like recently too, like with the Egyptians or something.
Started getting artsy and liberal, and all of a sudden we can see blue.
Yeah.
Make the color wheel great again.
X blue. That's like my boss at work is colorblind, and he always says his favorite color is blue because that's the only one he can see.
That's the only color.
I ordered the colorblind guy. I'd send him with those lots.
My favorite color is gray.
He does it all the time, and
It's light gray.
we had this chart pulled up today that had 3 different color like bar graphs on it. And he goes, "So which one are we looking at? The gray one, the reddish gray one, or the bluish gray one?" I was like, "Which one's which?"
I would send my buddy memes of like the color blot, so like you can't see if you're colorblind. And it would say like F the colorblind or have like penises drawn in it or something.
Send those to Nathan.
He's like, I don't know what you're sending me, but I'm pretty sure it's hateful. Like, yeah.
We need to send those to Nathan.
Yeah.
I can find them real quick.
What you should really do is have them where there's actually nothing in it. And so they're just staring at it forever trying to find it.
Yeah, we need to do that.
We have to color coordinate our hourly production just to make things easier on the people that make more money than me that just come by and look at stuff. But with the highlighters, and the colorblind guy was on my shift, and day shift had written on the highlighters the colors. There's a pink, green, and blue one. They had written green on the pink one, and then blue on the green one, and pink on the blue one. So he went. I didn't know he was colorblind. He was coloring around. I was like, "Bro, what are you doing? You're supposed to color that green." He's like, "This isn't green." I went, "What?" He goes, "I'm colorblind." I looked at the pen. I was like, "Oh, dog, somebody got you."
See, my immediate thought, because I'm so used to being on a production line that ran bad, that my first thought was, "Oh, sweet, dude, we're coloring all of our pink hours green," because I'm just used to never running good.
Good times.
So, anyways, before we get too far in and we forget, let's go ahead and do ads.
No.
Dave done enough last week to cover for a week.
I mean, that's true. So don't give him that one.
Give it to me. I'll fire off again, dude.
Ew.
Thanks, Holland.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because last week he had to throw them all the way from Indiana.
Yeah.
Why do they say ion on them?
What do you mean?
I've wondered that for quite some time.
Because it's Bear Down Steel Ion.
Oh, that's part of the scent name?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you guys have always called it Bear Down Steel. I was like,
Well,
Because there's a lot of them.
guess they had some blank space and wanted to. Oh. So it's like ion the intensity level? So there's a different Bear Down Steels? Or
there's Bear Down Steel Frost.
Frost is number 1, which is one Michael has. It's the white one.
Yeah. Ion, what's the...
Without looking at the chart, I only know a few of them. I want to say that the Ion is like number 5-ish. At this point, they're...
5 out of 5 in my heart.
I was at this point, I feel like they're number 20 because we've opened and closed these things several times.
So much.
However, we do have...
Stout. Like, they're still stouter than most smelling.
Oh, no, they're still good. I'm just saying they're not... Like,
They're not as strong as they were.
you have yours in your truck?
No.
It's an only
Took
impression.
my gym bag out.
Neither one of them? You don't have your other black one? Dang. Well, I guess Taylor's just going to have to try these.
Ricola.
I mean, these aren't that bad now.
No, they're not that bad, no. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, come
It's
on.
time for your first Iron Palace ad.
Come on, man.
Look, they're
Be
not.
all right.
Listen, there ain't no pressure like peer pressure. Come
The
on.
first time they knocked my dick squarely in the dirt. They're really stout.
David's hat didn't fit.
Now they're nothing.
I'll even let you hold Aaron.
He's like, my hat
That's
don't
not Aaron.
No, this isn't Aaron. This is a dragon.
That's Kung Fu.
fit. My
You can just sit in his lap. It's fine.
You gotta get the full experience. I'm gonna put the lid on. Give me a shake brewski. It says 12 inches from your nose. So whatever you've been telling your wife 12 inches is, commit to that.
Just keep that in mind.
Get in there.
Get in there.
deep. So they're not terrible. Zone smelling salts. Make that face. How do you feel?
Not bad.
Could have fooled me.
You feel amped up?
A slight thing.
Aaron, get away from him.
How many times have you heard that? You're still processing. It's cool. Let it soak in.
You want to smell it again?
Sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
You got in there a little deeper that time.
First time Dave did it, he got deep enough to count how many chunks were in there.
So, fun fact: what we didn't tell you is this is an inhalable form of PCP. Enjoy the ride.
Yep.
when you find your way home in 2 or 3 days.
This is literal angel dust.
So, anyways, that's Zone Smelling Salts. Use code TIPP. They will last you a long time, obviously, because this one's lasted us a very long
And
time.
they'll make you feel a little thing.
And
It's over a year and a half old.
Yeah, and it's been opened a bunch.
way more times than the average gym goers.
I've
when he
Yeah.
uses
personally
theirs.
inhaled half of this urn.
About to say at least once a week, but Dave opens them probably 5 times a week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put the lid back on this episode.
So, anyways, go ahead and get yours. Code TIPP.
They get stronger when you move them around.
NutraFit.
NutraFit.
Go to NutraFit.com. Get yourself some pre-workout, protein,
Creatine.
Yeah, they're back.
creatine, anything you're going to need. And then at your checkout, use code CalebCDay.
That's the secret. You got to give them a seizure. They're getting better. You got to move them ions, dude.
Then my eyes bumping around.
Oh, God. Yeah, they're getting a lot better. Take another whiff.
Get in there.
Well, if you saw the first time he did it, then yeah, it's all burnt out now.
Oh, that's why you were like, no, I don't want to do it.
Well, those aren't the same ones. The ones he used before, they were ones that were like number 2 on intensity, and they were almost brand new.
Yeah.
So when they're brand new, they kick like a horse.
Yep.
Fading again.
God,
Do we got like a paint shaker like at Home Depot?
yeah, it's you.
Either I'm getting used to it or
So, anyways, while Dave's shaking that up, Holland can tell us about one of our clothing brands.
Yeah, Hosswear. Hosswear.com. I looked down. I thought I was wearing one of their shirts.
Usually, you are.
But yeah, go check those guys out. They make a lot of cool gym clothes, t-shirts, shorts, hoodies, hats, geared towards kind of strongman,
I'm blanking.
Highland
keep
Games
pulling me.
stuff. Get a Power Belly shirt or a thick shirt. Go to hosswear.com, code TIPP, and get a discount from them.
And if you have enough of their shirts, or you've already bought them all, or you're just looking for something different, go to Etsy, search the Iron Palace Podcast, or you can just search Daydream Designs. It'll take you straight to our merch line. It'll be a shirt looks similar to this. There's a bunch of other stuff.
We have Iron Palace Dream Catchers.
No, we do not. But
Coming soon.
probably not.
We have Iron Palace Pan Flutes.
Okay, we could do that. Anyway, so go check all that out.
You want to 3D print them?
I have already 3D printed a pan flute.
What?
I have it. It's in the house.
He pretends
come
he's
on
he pretends he's a fawn, like hopping around the house.
You think I printed a helmet and I didn't print a pan flute?
He's trying to get
my
Keelan to
bad.
follow him to Narnia.
Mr. What is his
Tumnus.
Tumnus? Yeah, Mr. Tumnus.
Oh, man.
Turns out it's got to be a special wardrobe. If you just go buy a wardrobe off
Okay.
Marketplace and play a pan flute,
Yeah.
you do not get into Narnia.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you're telling me.
He has a hard time fitting his feet into the plastic hooves that are making children. But just hear him clobbering through the house playing a pan flute.
Really freaks the cats out.
The cats keep peeing on his costume. I'm just picturing.
This is the first time you've cracked yourself up.
It looked like the devil at the end of the Pick of Destiny. Oh, shit.
Is that all of our ads?
Sinner.
I think so.
I think so too. All right, Taylor, we won't bother you anymore. Well, Dave might. I make no promises. That's Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Boo.
Missed it.
You want me to do it again? Yeah. That was Taylor, ladies and gentlemen.
Boo.
There we go.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks.
What was the second thing that you wanted to talk about?
I was about to bring it up, but Dave was making a weird face.
Dude, I'm just riding over here. You do what you do. I'm chasing the dragon.
So anyways, a topic came up this weekend that took place last week that there's no way we can just not talk about because I've been talking about it at work constantly. I know pretty much everybody is talking about it right now. Is Nico.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get...
Nico, I'm going to leave you.
Yeah, exactly. Those have been my favorite things is people changing the name on the back of their shirt. It's been pretty funny.
I never could pronounce it anyways.
Iamaliava?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
Yep.
That sounds right.
Iamaliava.
But requesting $4 million
Yeah.
to up his NIL deal. For what?
Yeah. I mean, they did make the playoffs.
Here's my thing, though. Is like, because that's been his reasoning that I've seen him push forward is that he threw for 2,600 yards and led us to a 10-3 season.
Yeah.
My counter argument to that is the defense led us to a 10-3 season, and he just so happened to be there.
Yeah. Those yards are inflated with those mediocre.
Well,
yes.
Those yards came out under the Biden administration. You can't trust them.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, actually, they do.
I mean, really though, like because he only threw for what, like 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns,
Not many
in SEC play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
all
many?
the rest of them came in non-conference play.
Yeah, and
In the second half.
that's what I've been saying. Is how many games did we go last season where we didn't score in the first half?
I'll tell you, of the last quarterbacks, a handful of quarterbacks that we had, the one that should have been paid was Hendon Hooker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hands down.
Like now that guy,
Hands down.
See, he had no defense.
Nope.
He was like, hey, we've got to outscore everybody.
Yeah.
They did most of them.
Yeah, they're like, if they score 50, we've got to score 60.
Yep.
Or we're done. And he did. You know, if we,
Good for Nico. Now he's making more money in the state with higher taxes. So
yeah.
The last deal I'd heard, I've not fact-checked any of it, so this was quite possibly not legit, but was UCLA for $1.1 million.
yeah, so he'd be like way less. Well, he's making 2 here.
2.1 is
Yeah,
his.
with no state income tax.
Yep.
There he's gonna be bringing like what,
This
700,000.
year is 2.5 or 2.6.
Is it 2.5?
Yeah.
I'd seen it range between
Last
2.
year it was right at 2, and it was up.
Okay.
And that was way too much.
I'd been seeing a lot of different numbers bounce around. I'd seen 2 to like 2.6.
Yep.
So either way, more money than I'll probably ever see in my lifetime.
He should have got a punch card for like McAllister's lunch that had 3 hole punches, and he needed 2 more to get the free lunch. That's
Yep.
all he was. That's about all he was worth.
So my argument
give him
also is, for one, there needs to be a cap on NIL deals. There
Yeah, they're
Hater.
outrageous.
has to be. I mean, because just not based off just this thing with Nico, but also like last year. What did we learn from last year? You can buy a national championship.
Yeah.
Ohio State won with a $25 million team.
Yeah.
And Ohio's like America's butthole.
That's all they have going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why do you think they call themselves the Buckeyes?
But
Just
if,
saying.
If Ohio's America's butthole, then I guess the digestive tract is Kentucky.
Again, I'm not disagreeing with you. But so you've got Ohio State that can just buy a win.
Yeah.
Whenever 3 of their wide receivers go first-round draft pick, it's cool. And then now Nico thinks he's worth $4 million for overthrowing and running out of bounds a whole lot.
Yeah.
So, but in the same team as this dude that's requesting $4 million, there's people on this team that are having to pay for their college, not getting any money to be there. They just want to be there.
Yeah.
Speaking of overthrown, didn't Milton get picked up by an NFL team?
Yeah.
Who picked him up?
Dallas.
Yeah.
Is it Dallas?
Yeah.
I know I just saw it, but I couldn't remember what it was. He went to the Patriots originally?
Yep.
Who was it that just took Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson?
Oh, wow.
Was it the Giants? Yeah, the Giants now have Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. That's the answer to all their problems.
Gosh.
Man, how far has Russell Wilson fallen, man? Like,
all the way off of Sierra, I think.
went from Super Bowl up here with the Seahawks to like
Oh, man.
Joke.
that's also true. You had Marshawn Lynch then.
And Kelly, the plug and play offense. Apparently anybody could have been good in that system.
Dude, I will never nothing will ever be as funny to me as after they lost that Super Bowl where they have the number 1 running back ever, Marshawn Lynch, and they're just like, nah, we're going to throw it into the end zone.
From the 3?
From the 3.
Have you heard Marshawn Lynch talk about why he left that team?
I assume it's because of that, but no.
No, he said Russell Wilson had a bad game, and he said he was being real pouty. I went to him in the locker room and was like, "Hey man, don't worry about it. That's what I'm here for. Everybody's got bad games. When you're having a bad day, hand it off to me. We're good."
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson didn't respond, but then Russell Wilson's agent or somebody called Marshawn and said, "Hey, Russell Wilson's going to call you later from this number. Pick it up." All right.
That's already
Russell
weird.
Wilson chewed him out like, "Don't you ever talk to me like that," yada, 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 yada. And then they had a team meeting the next week, and the coach said, if anybody's got anything to say to Russell Wilson, they talk to us first. And Marshawn was like, "Oh, no, I'm not playing for this team. Like, screw that."
I wouldn't either.
What?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That was straight from Marshawn Lynch. He said that in an interview like a year or two ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
But did you ever watch that show, The League?
Yeah.
So-
It's just right there. I can run it over there.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, toss me that beer." Yeah, I can just run it over to him. I'm right there. No, I'm going to throw it. What's the worst that could happen? No, but I can
He's
seriously.
right there.
Yeah.
I can run it over there.
He throws it, hits the grill, everything catches on fire. He's like, "Oh, I should have let you run it over there."
That show had a guy on it a lot about being at 9/11. Fun fact.
Had
Did you know
what?
that? The main dude from the league, the guy that had the wife, he was a comedian.
What a description. But yeah, I know who exactly you're talking about.
He was a comedian, and for a long time, one of his things was like telling a heartbreaking story on like Stern and stuff about when he was at Ground Zero during 9/11,
And
and it was all bullshit.
Oh, gosh.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, good stuff.
But yeah, what do y'all think? You think they should cap NIL or just
Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done with that and the transfer portal.
yeah? Because
Like-
now it's just all right. Well, I'm out of here. Don't give me what I want.
It's so
I'm
much
out.
easier than
And the
NFL,
player, player can sit out and hurt
Yep.
the team. The team cannot take anything in until
Yep.
the
I
portal
think
opens.
there's rules on where you can transfer to, but there's no rules on how many times you can transfer.
Yep.
Like
See, because that's what I thought.
every year, you
I
can
think it should go back to if you transfer to another D1 school, you have to sit out a year.
Yeah.
There's an SEC rule. He couldn't transfer to the SEC
Yeah.
school.
So there's certain rules on like where you can transfer depending on when you.
But
try
still,
to, but-
like this dude's just going to bounce around to other colleges,
Yeah,
to continue to get a free ride scholarship.
yeah, it's like there's no working your way up the depth chart anymore. They're like, if you don't get any playing time here, I'll transfer to somewhere where I can
Yep.
play.
You see it on high school teams now.
It's crazy.
You got kids driving their kids an hour away
Yeah.
It's
to have a starting spot.
it's insane.
I mean, like I hate to like agree with Saban, but man, I'm 100% with him with the NIL and the transfer portal stuff. Like
My cousin
it's
put that
ruining
on
football.
My cousin to put that on Facebook. He had shared one of Nick Saban's quotes, and he said, "I've hated this man my entire." He's one of the biggest Tennessee fans I know.
Ironic, it was a cousin. Alabama.
Oh, but he
Do you
said,
kiss him?
he said, "I've hated Nick Saban my entire life." He said, "But I hate him because he's not on Tennessee."
Yeah,
He said, "I hate him because he's in Alabama."
yeah,
He said, "I respect everything the guy says," and it was the warning of NIL. He's like, "This is what's going to happen," and sure enough,
that's what's happening.
yep.
Yeah,
I can move past that with coaches. Like I like Spurrier because he's freaking hilarious. Like I like Kiffin because he's funny. Like when he threw the first pitch out and he threw the yellow golf ball.
I never disliked
Hilarious.
Kiffin.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I was upset when he left because I thought, well, it's kind of crappy
Yeah.
the way he left,
Yeah.
you know. But
Then to hear about it, he didn't want to do it that way.
yeah,
And it was like his dream job. I get it.
they're like, yeah, I mean, it was kind of, they're like, you have to be here like tomorrow.
Yeah. And he said that he wanted to have a press conference the following morning, but our administration was like, no, just get out of town. We'll handle it. He's like, no, I'll take it on the chin. They're like, no, get out.
Yep.
I could see that. I mean,
And he's so hilarious.
Yeah. And
Like,
he's still to the, like I say to this day, I've not seen Twitter in about a year now. Feels like. But he says that anytime somebody plays a highlight from our Alabama game, he's like, yeah, we should have won that. Cody took his helmet off. That was bullshit. We should have got the kick again.
but yeah, I believe that. Just what our, we've had a great line of coaches that we like to just fire
yeah.
and continue to pay.
Oh, that's one of my running jokes. Whenever we're looking for another coach, I'm like, put Lane on the train, baby. Bring him home.
Yeah.
He's probably still in the payroll, so might as well.
Knox, bring him home, dog.
I think we're still paying off his contract, so might as well.
When we wouldn't fire, was it? I don't think it was Butch. I think it might have been.
Dooley?
No, it might have been Pruitt. When Kevin was at FAU. Anyway, I started going to UT games wearing an FAU owl shirt. I was like, this ain't my team, dog. FAU, football in paradise.
Dude, I'm glad you said Pruitt because someone asked me today who was between Butch and Heupel, and I was stumped. I was like, we've had so many.
Freaking
It is.
Gump, that's who was between them.
It's really hard for me to remember all of them.
All right.
That's like last year. Whenever I forget what game it was. We were lost and. Like people had already started the low roar of getting rid of Heupel. I was like, y'all are freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Like on top of one, Heupel's a really good coach, but two, if we get rid of one more coach, guys, we are not getting another good one.
Yep.
Ever.
But we were bad all over the board. Remember we hired freaking Donnie Tyndall for the basketball team. What the hell?
If I've learned anything in my life, is anybody named Donnie can't be trusted. Just saying.
How many more years you think old Ricky Barnes has on him?
Oh, I don't know.
A lot of UT fans were like, "Oh, when he's gone, we'll go to Bruce Pearl." But Bruce Pearl's not that much younger. Like he seems it, but he's not a whole lot younger than
I'm just saying
Barnes.
they should hire me. I'll do it for half what they're paying any of their coaches.
And probably do less than half a good a job.
That's what I'm saying. I could lose for a lot less money than you're paying these coaches to lose.
One of my favorite things I ever heard on a podcast ever was that
That time that we were talking about stuff.
yeah, sure. Barstool, we had just fired Butch, and the guy was like, they're paying Butch Jones like $5 million a year to not coach Tennessee. I've not coached Tennessee for free my whole life like a sucker.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, like all you got to do is be able to sign the contract, and then you're done. Like they fire you, okay.
Yeah, that's bullshit. There should not be that clause in contracts.
But then
Coach
we
should not be allowed to demand that.
and
Shit.
we keep doing it.
Yeah, for no names. Like
Yeah.
we were doing it for nobody. I'm like, he's got a lot of upside potential. It's like you could have paid one of these guys that's just sitting because he got in trouble a couple of years ago the same amount and won some football games. Like at least been fun. They're like, oh, Kiffin couldn't stay out of trouble. Yeah, but football games were a blast.
Did we win?
Yeah.
Because I'm just saying, like paying someone that you don't know.
I quote Lane Kiffin to this day. Anytime somebody's waiting around the time clock at work and they hit the time hits whatever they're waiting for, I'm like, in the words of Lane Kiffin, it's time. I've got that shirt somewhere still. I think it was for the LSU game. It's time. God, I miss Lane. I mean, I like Heupel. I think I love Lane. He's probably my favorite UT tradition.
Did you
We'd
see?
be getting our asses whooped. I'd tweet at him, "You up?" Question mark.
I'd almost put money that if and or when you start your Twitter back up, one of the first tweets you put out will be at Lane Kiffin.
You up? Missed you. Or like when one of my buddies, like a diehard, like, no, this coach is going to be good. Just give him time. And then he get his ass beat again. I'd send that picture of Lane Kiffin in the white polo looking over his glasses. God, I love Lane. Love you, Lane.
Did you see Tosh.0 when he found out that he and Lane looked alike?
Yeah, he did Kiffin's Crimson Corner.
Yeah. He was like that beautiful, beautiful man.
I'm committing to Ole Miss.
I never thought about it. They do look similar.
That was a whole big thing for a while.
Yeah.
I don't really watch a lot of Tosh.0. So
Tosh was hilarious, dude. He was the man.
whenever he
He's
was
got
on,
a podcast now.
everybody's got a podcast now. Obviously,
This is good though.
you're on this podcast. Like,
Sign over from experience.
I don't understand how that's a burn at me.
You're really only taking it this one.
Because I'm the one who's paid a lot of money.
Well, money can't buy talent.
You got that right. So I'm not paying any of y'all. That's been my...
Gotcha.
Dang it.
He's been sitting on that check you told him not to cash until you said when.
Dude, whenever I asked Kyle, I said, Kyle, if I get you an athlete shirt, you're going to wear it to the competition? He goes, does that make me a sponsored athlete? I said, sure as hell does. I'll pay you as much as I pay Holland. He goes, really? Like, how much do you think that is? He goes, nothing. Yep, nothing. So I'll even double it.
But you did get a shirt.
He did get a shirt.
Got a shirt. He got a ride to Wisconsin. He got half of a hotel room paid.
I was about to say, really, he kind of took us for the ride on that one.
I feel like we should split some of Holland's expenses with him.
Oh, you think?
Yes.
Since we are sponsoring that athlete.
We're sponsoring a lot of things right now.
I'm an AA sponsor.
Right.
Not a very good one. I'm like, I don't know, dude. You sound pretty upset. Just give in. Like,
Sounds like
you were
Holland.
much cooler when you were hammered, dog. You weren't crying as much.
Sound like Holland whenever he's trying to get me to eat something off diet. Just do it, man. It's fine. I won't tell anybody.
Yeah. I mean, you're already looking skinny. You might as well
Yeah.
bulk up a little.
God, dude, I can't wait. All I've been thinking about like the last week is all the events we've got coming up and how they're going to be right at the end of this prep. And I'm going to be like, man,
Yeah.
this would be really fun if I was strong like I used to be.
I should have secretly been lifting the whole time just so I could. What's the deal, Caleb?
It's not too late.
It's not. I'm only getting weaker. So I mean,
You could start a bulk right now.
Oh, I have been.
Woo.
Been bulking, been fluffing, been dancing. What are you laughing at, dude?
I heard all about your fluffing in our group chat earlier. You and Michael got a.
That was him. I didn't even know it was happening. I just hit the smelling salts. I guess I was out.
I want to know. So I at least got to read them, as they were happening. Alan just got hit with the full conversation at one time.
It's like 15 dings on my phone when I got out the
Whoa! Daggum, son.
It sounded like David's phone after Michael got service.
Clear that history, son.
So anyways,
So was it like, was it 15 pictures of one big one that you put together? Or was it 15 individual dings?
yeah, was it like the centerfold? You got to like.
Put your phone on landscape mode. Zoom in the middle, see if that freckle looks like it might be cancerous.
So you got all the texts at once. I got them out of order.
Oh my God.
Like I got all Dave's responses, then I got Michael's.
Then you had to piece it together
And
and
I was
figure out
like-
how the conversation went.
I was like doing like a CSI. Like, okay, what Yeah.
Yeah, so all we really learned from that text thread earlier is that Michael is currently in Corbin.
Speaking of dings on your phone, did you guys ever take your buddies' phones and take a real close-up picture?
Oh, yeah.
So you
I
can
still do that to this
also
day.
take your index finger and place it just right and make it look like someone naked is standing in front of the subject.
Yep, done that too.
Love that. That's one of my favorites. I used to have a picture on my old phone. I wish I still had it. It was my granddad asleep in bed with his mouth open, shirt off. And I did that. And I'd figured out how to place my middle finger just so it was a little ball sack. You ever do that, Holland?
No.
Hold on, I think there's a weird camera thing. Hold on. Oh, good God.
Show you from my end.
Fix
So it's
yourself.
gonna take a year. So you just kind of like come down with it. Just in the where it shows the background, it kind of.
I know, that's why you got to have an old flip phone. If you had an old flip phone, did you say put your finger in your phone?
Okay, his has black borders. So if you take it
What did you just say?
and just kind of find the right spot. See, it looks like a leg and a butt.
Looks like a leg and a butt.
It takes some time to get it down. Once you get it down, you can make it look like just a man's ass standing straddling over whoever is in the picture.
You not seen that before?
No.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's maturity at its best. That's like right next to doing the 8008.
You all are showing your age, so
What does that mean?
immature.
If people watching this show have not thought we're immature by now,
They haven't really paid attention.
I was about to say that's not our problem.
Why does it keep tripping, dude?
So that's
iPhone
what
does not want me to thrive.
that's what mine was
Hold on,
doing. Actually, I think you can turn off the auto switch because the auto adjusts to the 3 cameras based off the distance.
Dude, don't ever at me again. That's your last one.
Why do we always wind up on this?
I don't know.
You started it.
He's got you there.
So what else we got coming up? Anything happening in May?
It's a good point. Let me address the calendar. All right, so that one's done. May 4th, Peaceful Side Social in Townsend, Tennessee. Going to be a Highland Game Expo. We'll be there. Might even have a few stones of strength there. It's going to be a fun time. Come out, drink some alcohol.
Are the Daystones going to be there?
Maybe. There will be some lifting stones there. We're just unsure of which ones. So be there and find out. Then after that is May 17th and 18th. That will be the Smoky Mountain Highland Games, also in Townsend, Tennessee. And if you come to the May 4th thing, you'll actually see where that one's going to be. So if you come to that one, it's going to be a huge festival. It's going to be a great time. But more importantly, the Daystones will 100% for sure be there. So if you want to do, for one, write your name in the book of lifting the Daystones, and then 2, record it, send it over to the Denny Stone website so that you can get certified to lift the Denny Stones, because they work for that, because they're also heavier than that.
Yeah. And, I mean, this book is a fairly elite book. I mean, there's not very many names in it.
No. Currently standing, there are 3 people that have lifted the Daystones.
So, I mean, come on.
Now, to break that down further, there is only one person to lift them without straps. That is me. There was no way I was going to let it not be me.
Oh, yeah.
I would have ripped my arms off before I let the first and only one not be me.
Yeah.
But then Holland and Allen have both lifted them with straps, which is still, they weigh 811 pounds. Yeah. That's still a huge lift. So just like that was.
That was a huge lift.
He did move a little bit.
Yeah.
That's behind the scenes stuff, dude. We don't talk about my flatulence.
Actually, it was on live camera.
Live, buddy.
Live.
So, June 7th will be the day that this torture finally ends.
What was that?
Anyways, June 7th is our bodybuilding show. We have still yet to see some engagement to let us know if you guys want to have a big show. Otherwise, This will be probably small and depressing like the rest of the 16 weeks has.
I think me and Mike will be in the old
Don't say
boys
Corbin.
game.
Thank God.
Y'all are both going to be in Corbin?
Running out of room in Corbin.
Not to be able to sleep with both eyes closed.
I guess it's now the Georgia Mountain.
With all 3.
As opposed
I always
to
do a pair. I usually leave that one open. Brown eye closed. Yeah.
Anyway, so June 7th, bodybuilding show. The only fortunate thing about that day is most people don't know when their depression is going to end. I do, June 7th. So that'll be a great time. Really looking forward to that.
Got your posing trunks yet?
No. Have you got yours?
No, but I'm gonna get leopard print posing trunks.
Oh, I'm gonna get zebra print.
Yes.
You should. The straps are slimming.
Doesn't matter at this point.
Well, if they're horizontal instead of vertical,
They're widening.
Oh, you're gonna want vertical if they're tight. You want to go with the grain.
Just depends on how you tuck.
You guys tuck? I'm straight out, dog.
Like on Superbad.
Like a button on a fur coat.
The best thing is that's the second time I've heard you say that just today. So anyways, June 14th, that is Power for a Purpose. That is going to be our stone lifting competition right here in Maryville. We have things about 98% official, which is stressing me out. But it's fine. It's going to be a great time either way.
that 2% is really getting you, isn't it?
Yeah, because I don't like things to be not ready.
Yeah.
So either way, that sign-ups are going to be going out. If you've already talked to us that you're interested, we've already got your name down. Otherwise, it's really just going to be sign up when you get here. I don't see a point in us having all these waivers and everything because that's just a lot of complicated stuff that I don't want to deal with. So you just sign up when you get here. Just let us know you're coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you're a vendor, so vendor signups, it is $40 for a 10x10 spot. If you're an athlete, it is also $40 for your entry fee. You can cry about it later if that's too high of an entry fee. I don't care. This is going to charity. So there's that.
How many classes are you going to have?
2.
Many as it takes.
Men's open, women's open. The only way there will be more than 2 classes is if there are a crap load of applicants and we need to split it up. Other than that, it's going to be women's open, men's open.
Yeah.
And
Still going to do the monetary prize?
I don't know, are we?
Sure.
All right, so what was the breakdown we were doing on that?
I think for this one, we was going to do 100 for first, 50 for second.
Okay. So $100 first place prize, $50 second place prize. We will get details out on other swag and other whatnot. We might be able to swing with that, but if you want a chance at winning,
We won't guilt you into donate that money.
if you want
Not at all.
if you want a chance to win your money back and then also
Won't even mention it.
put money towards a good cause, Power for a Purpose, June 14th. Then June 28th, we're going to find ourselves in David's favorite place in the world, Kentucky.
Boo.
So we'll be in Kentucky
Hiss.
at Home Gym Con. We're going to be helping out run a USAWA push-pull. I believe it's going to be a people's deadlift and Hackenschmidt floor press competition. But then right after it's when the party starts because that's whenever we're doing a live podcast along with a Thomas Inch dumbbell challenge. So I don't know prizes for that yet other than me and Holland currently hold records in that.
Yeah.
Holland holds the 40 plus.
Yeah, 40 to 45 or whatever it is.
Yeah, and whatever your weight class was at the time.
120 kilo, 125.
I think so.
I don't know. Whatever. I own that record.
He has that record. So if you find yourself somewhere around there and you want to try to take it from Holland, go for it.
Yeah.
I currently have the overall record. So if you want to try to take the overall, it's not me doubting my ability. I really just want to see someone beat me.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome because you're going to have to pull over the actual inch dumbbell weight to do it. It's going to be sweet.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it.
I don't think you can either. All right, so that's June 28th, July 19th, and September 27th. Those 2 games we are sponsoring. I also forgot to mention the Smoky Mountain game on May 17th and 18th. We are also sponsoring swag bags. So I've already forgot what I did with the bag.
1 loose pinch of zone smelling salts in every bag.
Anyways, we're doing swag bags. We've got pictures and videos on our Instagram, so if you want to see what all that entails, go check it out. However, if you want a chance to win one, make sure you do well. Throw far. Top 3 are getting one. That also goes for July 19th. That is the East Coast Women's Championship. We are sponsoring a swag bag for the first place in each division on that one. And then September 27th is North Georgia. We are sponsoring top 3 athletes at that one. So throw far, throw big.
Yeah.
Or go home without a swag bag.
Go home sad.
Yep. Dream of what could have been. How I do with pizza.
Could you eat some Taco Bell right now?
Dude, like the hurting
Back.
I would put on Taco Bell right now. Like I would take all the chalupas.
So when are we planning our Hot Rods Burger Challenge?
So this is we're going to be it's going to be done June the 7th.
Yep.
So the 8th.
I'm thinking I was about to say either 7th or 8th.
Well, I will be out of town on the 7th. So
So it looks like the 8th.
So the 8th. Or we can go the 7th. We'll just sit next to your picture.
I want to do it too, though.
You got to re-put
Do we
your
have
picture.
a hookup there where we can like sit at a table and set up and like
I can
record
find
us
out.
trying to
That's a good idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
I can find out.
Oh, wait, Dave.
Way to go, Dave.
Heck yeah.
I feel like an old man. I have a trick hip. And I would love for this to be a joke.
What kind of tricks does it do?
yeah,
Not
tricks
fun
at
ones.
turning.
Hey.
It's one, so there's a reason that I hated being small, and it's because everything hurts. So whenever I was like, it was worse whenever I was skinny, like 190 pounds. Like my knees hurt, everything hurt. So then as I started gaining weight and putting on more muscle, things stopped hurting. Or things like my trick hip stopped really messing with me. I haven't had a problem with it in over a year. But my hip,
Trying to get Twerkman's comp.
I wish.
He threw it out, throwing that ass in a circle.
My hip doesn't dislocate, but it kind of like stuffs up in the socket. And so it just
Usually
feels.
on the downward stroke with the twerk that it does it.
Anyway, so it gets stuck. And that happened during deadlifts yesterday. So I'm still hurting. So it's a fun time.
Where he's gotten so thin, he was really trying to push to try to make it clap.
Push to make it clap.
Yeah, like it. There's a lot of. Don't act like you don't know. Like you're a pro twerker. You hear that? Alan wasn't using his hands.
All I know is I couldn't be more uncomfortable.
If you're gonna properly twerk, you do it with your front and you do it with your heart. I drive all my twerks. I'm not a wiener. I'm a wiener first twerker.
You're a twerker, but from the front.
Yeah, I was saying, if you're gonna do it properly, you gotta do it from the front. You gotta do it with your heart.
A front
Your heart.
Yep.
front twerker, if you will.
So they don't teach you in twerk schools. It's trade secrets you gotta learn in the streets.
You know,
Hot, buttery twerks.
most people seem to have the opposite problem. Like as they get heavier, their joints start hurting. Caleb
Gets
seems to
smaller
be
and
the
his pride
opposite.
starts
Yeah.
hurting. And then his joints follow in after.
How does that? I mean, what?
What's happening?
I was like, most people get as they get heavier. That's when their knees and ankles and stuff starts hurting because they're carrying this extra weight.
Nope. Mine's the opposite, dog.
He's pre-carrying the extra shame of losing to you again. That's why his joints are hurting.
Yep.
That's a heavy.
Yeah.
heavy-
My bones get brittle under the crippling depression.
That happens to lots of guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't experienced that yet.
You won't. It's fine.
Colin's bone's never been brittle.
Never.
Nary a time.
Nary a time. huh?
Not nary.
Well, that was fun, boys.
Yeah. All right.
I
Well,
was just thinking that sounds like a great time to wrap it up.
We can talk about wiener twerking more.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right.
Hot dogging, if you will.
okay, so for everybody, if you've made it this far in the video, comment below who you think's going to win the bodybuilding competition.
If you were a hot dog, would
Let us know if you want to see us actually do a full-on show.
you eat yourself?
If the moon was made of cheese.
Just comment anything below. At this point, it doesn't really matter. If you want me to kick Dave off the show, just let me know. So thanks for watching. Make sure you click the subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one.